that comes to life every day on our campus. This is the place where great minds discover, innovate, collaborate, and find their true calling. This is the place where passion has a purpose, where learning inspires leading. The bonds we make, the values we teach, inspire our community to take heart and take action. This is Seton Hall University. This is what great minds can do.
Where are you going? The known path or your own path? Iona College is where you'll be given the means to dream and find meaning in your dreams. To serve while you learn and learn while you serve. To fight the good fight and to own your path. So, where are you going? Iona College. Learn outside the lines.
Welcome one, welcome all to the 8th week of EGFC. As always, my name is Keelan Miles, joined by Soy, and well, it's final season. It's our final week before the break, and so these teams want to get one last win under the belt before the spring split.
Yeah, last week of the fall split here at the EGF, and this was a stacked day. I mean, a lot of these games for a lot of these teams are going to really matter and impact the season down the line. And here between Seton Hall and Iona up next, this one should be a fun one.
Yeah, I mean, Iona College, I feel like more than almost any other, we say this a lot, so don't take our words too seriously, but Iona College has a lot to prove. Because they're good. They're pretty good. They do all right against the top tier teams. They just don't get the massive wins and they beat the teams that they're supposed to. If you want to get out there, you need to really hone, really improve, and you had a week off. Let's see what they did with it, as I believe Iona's starting out Moat. And who is this from St. John's? It's going to be Blobman35.
Yeah, so Iona sending in, one of these players, Moat, who's looked very proficient. He's been, one of the most consistent point getters on this roster. Meanwhile, Blobman for Seton Hall, kind of been a character carousel for him. Wolf, I don't think we've seen his Wolf in the past through the EGF so far, and not off to a hot start as he loses his first stop.
Yeah, towards the ledge right there, you managed to get back on, but I don't even know if they expected to end up on stage because they were just a little too slow. There was a bit of lag, sure, but they were just wide open for Moat to come in and smack him. And good awareness from Moat by that. Has the shield up to avoid the up B, and now they're holding down center stage. Just a single jab into the side B to keep stacking on the percent, keep Blobman in disadvantage, and they send him parasailing up thanks to that up B. Right now, Moat kind of running the show right now. They're holding all the cards, but now that you're above them, no. Moat's gonna get out of that juggle scot-free.
Yeah, that was huge too, because like you said, when Moat is in disadvantage, it's really difficult for him to get back down, so for him to find a way out of that was huge. But there's another clean conversion, just catching that awkward recovery back to stage and able to clean up the stock.
I love how Moat can get kill confirms. Like, that is, like, I bring it up every week. People who get kill confirms like this, like, watch this. Going for the down tilt at ledge. If it lands, it's a side B. If it doesn't, it's safe enough that you can just go right on back. They're able to recover back, and I honestly wonder if that was a bait. They put Blobman off stage, but now they've got go. Just the single jab, I don't know, yeah. They're just waiting for their opportunity, and, well, Blobman is not okay after that one. A 3-stock by Moat to open up Iona College. Getting 3 points on the board, not bad at all.
And this is more or less, I think, what we expect from a player like Moat, right? Moat has been one of these players for Iona who's been the consistent point getter, but also they are not afraid, the Gales specifically, to put in a lot of these heavy hitters early. They want to try and end these matches quickly. Put in Moat first, put in Yaliso first, put in those players that they put a lot of faith in those early rounds to see what they can do. and Seton Hall trying to respond with Blobman, who is so far winless this season and has played a lot of the weeks. But I think that comes when you're constantly kind of switching characters. The Wolf here, it was Mario in the early parts of the season. It was Hero in the mid section. So it feels like the strategy for Blobman just hasn't been nailed down, and that constant changing of playstyle, it, you know, compared to the straightforward nature that we see out of Moat here, just constant punish, it feels like that's really what's giving Moat the edge here.
Yeah, and it does feel like, to me, not to hammer down narratives, but Seton Hall, it's a tale of two different openings to a season. Both of these teams new to the EGF, but Seton Hall mostly freshmen. They didn't really have, well, Iona had a very, very clear game plan that they've been building towards, and whilst experimentation is good, Seton Hall is kind of struggling, and that's something you can work on during the holiday season, as now we're continuing that experimentation, checking out what this new fun beaker is. It is going to be the Pit, and it's not doing too well. I mean, at the moment, they're able to get the super armor.
Yeah, and I believe this Pit was off of a random pick from Blobman, so I mean, you know, heart of the cards, I guess. You know, if your game plan's not working and you're not sure what to switch to, just let the game decide. And the game is not in his favor right now. Moat taking the first stop.
Alright, well, I do like what Blobman is doing. Pit does have a lot of lingering multi-hit hitboxes, can cover a lot of space above them, and when they kept Moat on the platform like that, they had an opening, but then they let Moat on the ground. They let Moat touch them, and look at this. 62% already from 2 interactions, make it 86, and you're off stage. An early up B is actually going to save your life, but you're in too much lag to really defend yourself from Moat's onslaught as they continue to force you off stage.
Look at how Blobman is trying to play carefully here, and even the drift back is not safe. Jab Power Dunk gonna be able to take that stop.
Yeah, and now the Nair train not gonna take you all the way across, and they're betting a lot on this side B super armor, but I'm not really seeing Moat for going for too many grounded options at the moment, which, I mean, I guess they're just used to that side B, and so the Nair is just kind of outspacing the side B a lot of the time, or you can just beat it out before the super armor comes out. And even if they did, that grab would have demolished it anyway. Iona. Well, I said they were a team to prove. I said that if you want to be one of those top tier teams, you need to be getting the huge point differentials that make a statement. That's a pretty good way to start out, Iona.
Yeah, perfect set so far, and Moat getting the full 8 points in for Blobman again. You know, I was actually surprised that down tilt caught him at the very end. You know, you think, because that side B, right, it feels generally safe with that armor, but Moat just able to play around it so well, and that's really the mark of a good player, right? To just capitalize on every single error. It felt like Moat had an answer for every option Blobman threw at him.
Yeah, again, it is just the kind of thing where punish is so important. Having guaranteed bread and butters. If I touch you at this percent with this move, I know how to convert it into 40% minimum. And then if you mess up after that 40% is done, it's going to be 60 or dead, depending on what percent you're at. That is what Moat does. And what that allows you to do, there's a concept of the neutral game. And if you're new to Smash, it's pretty much trying to outthink your opponent, outposition them, find out how you can hit them without them hitting you. Moat just has to win neutral so many less times, because one hit from them is equal to 10 from someone like Blobman, who doesn't quite have that practice punish. It's just so much more deadly to be connected with.
Absolutely. And I think the other thing for Blobman too is that when you have this whole cast of characters, when you're constantly kind of switching between them, a lot of that bread and butter can kind of get lost, because not every combo works the same way. I mean, there are a couple, you know, easy combos, something like down throw forward air. A lot of characters have something like that, but the specific combos, those get real intricate at times. And and it's not to say that it's bad to have that cast of characters, but it feels like, again, the game plan changes based on what character you play, and when that game plan isn't, nailed down pat or isn't flexible or streamlined, it can fall apart to a player who has a streamlined game plan like Moat.
And not to talk too much about tier lists, but that is the kind of thing that puts characters higher up on tier lists. Like, the reason Pit is not as high up as someone like Terry, like Wolf, is even played optimally, it's still much harder to connect those bread and butters. Tier lists, they're not about what your peaks are, and they're not about, oh, well, depends on who's making them. But, the thing is, Pit, even played at their peak, does not have the consistent combo game that Terry does not have the explosive kill power or meaty hitboxes that make you consistent like Wolf does. It's just, you can get some really serious mileage, but if you don't, well, it's not as powerful as you might think, as we are going to be seeing 2 new players coming in. It's going to be Owzer, the Bowser, taking on Yaliso.
Yeah, different type of matchup here. Owzer is one of the heavy hitters for Seton Hall, 3 and 4 on the season on this Bowser. And against Yaliso, this Mii fighter, or Mii brawler, Mii gunner, whichever Mii he wants to play, this is going to be just a kind of unique matchup. And I'm curious to see how Owzer plays it, because I don't think he's played anyone quite like Yaliso before.
I don't think anyone's played anyone quite like Yaliso. Yaliso, if you don't know, incredible movement. Incredible. Some of the best movement I've ever seen. But the issue is, the movement is on Mii Gunner, who, even though they get in on you, they don't usually have the biggest of punishes. Meanwhile, I feel like if you're not frame perfect, pinpoint accurate with where you land, Bowser is a character who will punish you hard for landing on top of them and not really being sure what you're doing. So Yaliso, I remember last week they got called out pretty hard for being able to get in on their opponent and not really close it out. That is something they could have definitely improved on, and I can't wait to see that. Speaking of improvement though, Owzer is no slouch.
Yeah, I mean, we saw Owzer, I think it was way back in week 1 or 2, and they were just in a rough spot, it felt like, in that matchup. But ever since then, they've really kind of hit another gear. The combos are starting to come online a bit easier. They're able to take stocks a lot earlier. And so Owzer it feels like he's the most improved player on this Seton Hall roster.
Yeah. I mean, Owzer was your stereotypical beginner. Love the B button a lot, so they're quite familiar with Yaliso's playstyle. But either way, now you've got to deal with this, because Yaliso, look at this, they slow the pace of the game down, they're waiting for their opportunity, and then they actually can approach on the ground this time. They're not fully approaching from the air, but staying on the ground is going to get you called out with a forward smash, and your recovery called out by the Flame Breath, 89% already, and even though the get-up attack gets them off your back, you're still now in a pretty uncomfortable position right now. One mistake and Bowser's got your life.
Yeah, Bowser's got so much raw kill power that at this percent, in the wrong spot, it could be the stock, but that's a good forward smash to get Owzer off stage, and this is where I think Yaliso really has to make an impact, is when Owzer is off stage, can he find a way to secure those stocks? Because, like we said in this format, every single stock matters. That side B, not going to take the stock quite yet.
Yeah, Yaliso, he's actually finding a little bit of trouble. But Owzer, I feel like, is doing a great job of making Yaliso a little bit afraid. You saw Yaliso was holding on to underneath that platform, a very good defensive position. But Owzer, through sheer presence alone, their aura forced Yaliso out from the platform and into harm's way.
And Owzer doing a good job of surviving here. Has eaten a couple of ill-advised attacks, but does manage to, or does fall there. I believe that was the mine.
Bowser died to a super missile.
Yeah, I've never seen that before.
Well, there's a first time for everything. Oh! And there's not the first time we've seen someone get caught by that. That covers neutral getup. It covers jump. And, well, it doesn't cover everything. But it's enough that Yaliso was still stumped by it in the end. And the stocks are even. Good shield pressure, though. It doesn't matter if Owzer doesn't even have to shield. Constant aerial pressure as they take away the stage from Yaliso. And Yaliso actually holding their ground a little bit more this time, not being forced out, but their surprise burst movement option called out hard by that down B.
Good parry to up B there to get some damage on the board again. And now, I mean, we're seeing time and time again Owzer approaching with aggressive options, be it that neutral B, the down B callouts even. And Yaliso, I mean, it's working for now, but Yaliso, I think, is starting to catch on.
Yeah, and did you see that preemptive back air to knock Yaliso out of the approaching forward air burst? I mean, at this point, they're being forced to rely on many of me Gunner's more traditional tools. Catching out landings with that forward smash, getting spacing with those super armors. I mean, in general, not too bad. I love the turnaround in the air, though, to keep it tricky. Ooh, very nice tech right there, though. Yaliso, you're not going to get that much of a lease on life, but they're hanging in there, Soy.
Stock is answered right back, but yeah, that was a huge tech. Owzer was able to take that first stock, but then it's immediately answered back by that forward smash. And now last stock scenario between these two, very close.
Missile beats out Flame Breath. All right. Good for Yaliso, as now they're once again maintaining this defensive position underneath the platform, but they go in. They want to get that grounded dash tech, try and get some follow-ups, but that opened them up to so much. They're already at 83, and even though they get stage control again, they try and rush in again on top of Bowser, and Bowser, seeing that the missed spacings are coming in, they're happy to capitalize. This is more than even right now with how heavy Bowser is and how much kill power that they have, but the charge shot is building up. That could be the win condition, Soy.
Bowser's got to play so careful. It's this wall of projectiles that he's got to work his way through. Oh my goodness, the Flame Breath trading with the forward smash, and it knocked him out of the animation, but the second forward smash will connect.
No.
Not dead quite yet, though.
Give him time to charge up the charge shot. There it is. There's your win condition right there, but it's blocked. Still, though, any smash attack will kill right now. Then there's the back air. I don't know if that's going to do it either, Soy. Uno reverse card. Oh, Owzer sent off the side of the screen, eventually caught by a stray missile. I mean, it's the rule of threes. 1 strike, 2 strike, but 3 strikes, you're out. You can't get 3 kill streams at once. That's just ludicrous.
I mean, Owzer put up quite the fight there, and I think he did kind of luck out on that last neutral bead, just barely knocking Yaliso out of that forward smash animation. But, you know, it's the second lease on life, like you said. But yeah, 3 strikes is a little too much, and he ends up beating that missile in the end. But that was kind of the challenge heading into the match in the first place. You know, Yaliso does such a good job of controlling the pace of the game, and against a big body like Bowser, you're just going to eat 1 or 2 projectiles at some point. It's just too difficult to get around all that movement and all those projectiles. So it felt like it was going to be due, but Owzer did a good job, especially on that last stock, of playing carefully, taking advantage of the few openings he got to keep that percentage even. As long as that percentage is even, especially at high percents, the pressure is on for Yaliso. He has to be so careful because Bowser's just got such raw kill power in his kit.
Yeah, and I did like some of the answers that Owzer was coming out with. Like, for example, the Flame Breath to interrupt the forward smash. It was a good idea. It's an idea that is only going to work once, though. Like, it's the kind of thing where you just need to change up your spacing a little bit and it's not going to work again. And Yaliso, so much experience in this matchup, or just on their character as a whole, they're not going to get tripped up by that again. As taking a look at this, it does look like we're going to be going to Smashville, which I actually love against zoner characters. Now, it's a controversial pick. I will readily admit that. Smashville, with the center platform, it is very easy to get completely walled out by zoners, because platforms are such a valuable defensive tool and make it so hard to approach from above. But Yaliso hasn't really been abusing platforms as a defensive tool as much, so I feel like having a smaller stage where you can catch Yaliso is far more important.
Yeah, plus Hauser did a good job of just finding his few openings and getting damage in the first place. But I think spacing was really a huge factor in that first matchup, like you said. I mean, numerous times. Think back to that last stock, actually. The back air that we thought might take the stock was just a punish off a misspacing of a forward air from Hauser. And those down airs, too. I don't think... For all the down airs Hauser threw out, I don't think he connected a single one of them. So if he can get the spacing down here and just force a lot more interactions at a small stage like this, I think it plays to his advantage.
Yeah, I 100% agree, but look at this, 94% on Yelisa, or Hauser rather. Charge shot, have you seen a single charge shot connect, Soy? I mean, not that it matters, it's great conditioning, but Hauser has been doing a good job avoiding that one move, but even if you have to avoid the charge shot by getting hit by the super missile, does it really matter in the end?
Ooh, that's a huge shield on that forward smash, and there's the charge shot we were looking for.
This is not the charge shot you're looking for. Is Yeliso... Well, they're finally able to get the kill, but look at this. You remember what I said? Oh yeah, Yeliso hasn't really been abusing the platforms that much. This is what I'm talking about. That was the most distance that Hauser could have gotten drifting through the platform like that, just because of how hard it is to do an aerial and then also fall through the platform. It's very precise, and a lot of players can't do it online. You saw they tried to drop through down air right there, and they ended up on top of the platform.
Yeah, just again, the spacing of Hauser feels just a little bit off for a move like that. There's the down B, though, again, nearly calling out where Yeliso is going to be and nearly taking stock for it, but he didn't get the strong hitbox, and now he's pushed to the corner once again.
And I like the guaranteed damage that Yeliso is taking a lot of the time, too. Missile into grab, charge shot into grab. You don't need to kill, just get the damage and buy yourself time to get another charge shot going. As you can see, they're doing right now underneath this platform, and you can see Hauser is respecting the platform space so much more than they did in game one. And granted, that is well deserved. Yeliso earned that respect, but yeah, this is the kind of thing where, like, little old lady who swallowed the fly style stuff, like, you went to the smaller stage to deal with the movement, but then you forgot, oh no, Yeliso is a zoner primarily.
Yeah, I mean, you already kind of commented on it, kind of double-edged sword here, but Hauser, if he can find a way to take this stock, he'll certainly have some momentum under his belt. But there's the good forwarder. There it is. There's the first stock off the board. But again, it's just felt like in this match in particular, just so much work has to be done for Hauser to even take that first stock.
Ooh, it's just circles, ring around the rosy. Ashes, they all fall down, though, as you do get caught by the flame breath. Yeliso does eat a bit of damage. Towards the ledge right now, Hauser could get something going. You can see Yeliso is having trouble connecting them, but they finally get something, and then they get caught by the flame breath again. I like the preemptive end to it, though. The uppie had a shield, too. Hauser, very good use of their tools right now, 98%. One good read at the edge, and this is an even game, Soy. But they're knocked away from the edge. No chance to get a read when they're blinded like that.
Hauser seems real reliant on this forward air right now, and there's the first one he's hit in about a minute. Just throwing them out for spacing, looking to find his one opening, and look at all the chip damage that Yeliso's getting.
Charge shot off a ledge has gotten so much mileage. It's a new option that Yeliso hasn't used at all yet, and Hauser is just not quite equipped to handle it. And now the charge shot might hit at ledge instead of off of it, as at center stage, you jump to avoid the missile and you have no resources at all, as Yeliso traps you right into the flaming plasma ball of doom. It's going to be Yeliso getting even more points for Iona College, looking to get a massive point differential going into the holiday break.
Yeah, and this is exactly the performance the Iona Gales were looking for, because they were, for reference, I mean, in this league, I believe it's the top 10 teams make that national bracket, and Iona is currently sitting dead even right in the middle of the pack. They are overall right now, I think, around that 10th spot. They just barely, I think, are outside of that window, but their point differential suggests that they should be in the playoffs. It's positive round differential of +7. They've got 18 points on the positive side for their point differential. And for a team with a losing record, that's pretty good. So to be, if they can secure this win, get back to an even record, and have this massive point lead extended on top of that, it's going to do wonders for them down the line.
Yeah, it's very nice. It does not... Seton Hall, they're struggling a little bit, Soy. Alzer, I think, was one of their best shots, and you saw how close they kept it against Yaliso in the beginning. They had a winner, but they weren't able to close it out. Yaliso was just a little too slippery. I've compared them to an electric eel before, because that's how it really feels like. They slip and slide away from you. You try and grab at them, and then you finally get there, and you get shocked. Well, I mean, I called out the big flaming plasma ball, right? It's like one of those things you see at like Please Touch museums. You put your hand on it, and the little lightning things go up on it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, absolutely. And like you saw, Alzer had some answers, right? He was able to keep things close, but it was just, the adaptation from Yaliso was there, even on the smaller stage, like you said. Yaliso was able to find, a different way to approach, kind of mix up his game plan a bit more. And again, the spacing for Alzer just never fully came online. A lot of those forward airs were just a little bit off here and there, so... now you're looking at the depth of this Seton Hall roster and going, okay, where do we find some points? And really, Alzer has been the most consistent one. There's been a lot of struggles on this Seton Hall team, and that's not for lack of trying, but it feels like a lot of these guys they go up against they're in that Eastern Conference, so they're going up against the William and Marys, the George Washingtons, and it can just be very difficult to kind of find your spot when you have these strong depth teams in your own division.
Mm-hmm. And I just want to highlight real quick. I don't have the correct characters for the moment, but here is what I affectionately call Kilo Imagination. Just a little display of why Smashville is so good for zoners. So here's Alzer. Here's the space. Just imagine this is Yaliso. This is the space that Yaliso covers with the projectiles, with the anti-airs, covering the platform, covering the stage. So your only real option is this diagonal direction right here, which we saw them come in with the forward airs a couple times. But, I mean, it only works so many times before it's like, wait, if they're only coming in from one direction and I have this covered and I have this covered, where are they going to go? Where are they going to go?
Yeah, and the second you realize that's the line, that's when the adaptation starts, right? And it's that in-game adaptation that Yaliso instantly recognizes. And we've seen this all the time from players. Some players have that kind of, okay, I'm going to get my one grab, I'm going to get my confirms, and just go on from there. But Yaliso is the type of player that in that set, could identify that line quickly in game number 2 and just say, okay, this is where he's going to be, now I adjust. And it completely changed the momentum of game 1 to game 2.
And I think this is a new one right now. From Iona, sending out Jackboz against Lucas. And now, not gonna lie, this is a winning matchup. I mean, Mithra wins most matchups. But Jimbo is a very proficient character specialist, very adept at getting approaches while also zoning you out. With the Zares, with the forward airs, they're always looking to start a combo. Gonna be looking for how they start the kills though, because Lucas does struggle a lot when they're being comboed, and you're up against Mithra.
Yeah, it'll be interesting for sure. Jimbo is one of these players for Seton Hall that, especially early on in the year, was playing that kind of anchor role, that fifth man, that going up against some of the heavy hitters of a bunch of rosters. And so far, 2-3 on the season. And this is Jackbox, I believe, his first time on EGF. So tall task ahead of him.
Yeah, there he is right now. As they've already gone over to the Pyra. maybe it's because of the recovery, but then they go to the Mithra anyway, and they're called out hard. Jump use, and you're just clipped by it, and the wings are gone. Jackpot is sent off the side of the Jimbo. Boys, right now, to hold this a disadvantage for a while, but look at that. Missing that tech is going to carry you across the stage. Air dodging through the forward smash, though.
A lot of heavy committal options here from Jackbox, but Jimbo able to get around them for now, and I feel like the game plan again for Jimbo here, just kind of slowly chip away at the few openings you get, just kind of keep that spacing and then convert. Even here, finds the opening, gets the grab, can't read the air dodge though.
Not at all, and relying solely on Pyro to get the kills, it gets you a little bit predictable. They haven't really yet used Mithra too much to figure out Jimbo's habits. And that's really what Pyra excels at. Just going for these hard reads with the up B, with the up forward smashes. It's going to get you gimped. And the terrible off-stage game, the relatively terrible, that is Pyra Mithra, it's going to be called out hard. Even the dash attack not going to kill yet.
Actually kind of surprised that dash attack did not kill, but Jimbo able to survive, and every stock matters here. That Nair clipping him, and Jimbo just kind of resetting once again.
Right here, right now, Jimbo, they want this 3-stock if they can. They're trying to get a good combo started with the Zair, but they're not quite able to get the double jump cancel to really link it together into more. And then, there, okay. The side B is going to finish them off, and I like the immediate change over to Mithra. The Mithra is great at the early percents. And you know what I would love to see, Soy? Using rolls and spot dodges to call out, because Mithra's Foresight, which activates whenever she spot dodges, it will let her just approach through the PK fire, no problem. The ground game is impeccable. I think Mithra maybe is the best ground game in the game. Oh no, the loops! Oh, you just got tap danced on!
You couldn't see it, but my jaw dropped. Just down after down air, like you said, and connecting into that forward smash. And that's just, I feel like that is just something he was not ready for.
Not at all. Wow. Just wow. I mean, that's the kind of thing you've got to tech it. You've got to get the DI or even SDI, but I feel like maybe that would be a little bit much. Either way, it's the sort of thing that you get caught in it and all you're trying to do is get out. You're mashing panic options. You're doing anything you can, but I don't actually know, like, I believe that teching it would have gotten you out of there, but either way, I don't blame them for not knowing what was happening because you weren't getting popped up like you would expect for the spike. It's not strong enough.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. I mean, and that's smart on Jimbo too, right? To recognize, hey, he's not able to do anything here, or at least he's not reacting to it properly. So let me just continue on here. And then eventually the spacing on that forward smash too, really, really good. Getting that tipper as well, I believe. So, you know, fantastic stuff to him. Gets that solid 2-stock on the board. And I mean, the only real error here from Jimbo was just the slight misspacing around that side B, and you can only dance around Pyra's range on that side B for so long. So really well played here to Jimbo in this first game.
Yeah, very well played indeed, as right now Jimbo poised to get even more points on the board for Seton Hall. I'm not even sure where the adaptation would come through. I think, again, it's just better awareness of your tools. The ground game, the grass, touching grass is Mithra's specialty. Like, I truly believe that. The way she's able to dash around and space forward tilts, forward smashes even, down tilts especially, up tilts, and then if you throw out a projectile, she can spot dodge and get closer to you before you can react. It's a truly terrifying thing to deal with as a zoner, and if you force Jimbo to have that in the back of their head constantly, I've got a good feeling, but that isn't something you do overnight. That's not something you do because you hear the commentator say it on stream, which, speaking of, hey, welcome to your first game on the EGF. There are definitely some good players out there.
there are some scary ones, and Jimbo looking to kind of establish himself, excuse me, as one of those, monsters on Seton Hall. And Jackbox, like we said, new to the EGF, first time on stream, and we saw some good things, right? The use of that side B to take that first stock, but just kind of the panic options, right? When he's in disadvantage, it feels like there's no real answer or no sure way out, and it feels like there just isn't a game plan once he gets hit.
Yeah, I definitely do agree. I do like the stick to Pyramithra, and I don't hate Battlefield either, because Lucas, I would not call his stuff ladder combos. He can combo you up with up airs, but he can't extend it that far. And I feel like the juggle potential for Mithra is so much more important as you try and cover the option, overcommitting a little bit with that dash attack. But either way, it's making Jimbo think a little bit. They are at a slight deficit. You pop them up, you get the tech chase, not quite.
And I like the actually dancing around using these platforms, because that side B did so much work before, but he missed the tech on the stage, and that will be the first stock off the board. An unfortunate misclick there, and Jimbo with the lead.
Yeah, and right here, right now, you can see how Jimbo is playing this. Again, I don't mean for it to be the theme of the night, but the platforms are so powerful. Not just for Mithra to juggle for, but to make it harder for Mithra to get the juggle started. Getting the landing there in center stage is a good start. Now you can see Jimbo desperately trying to avoid being on those platforms, but Jackboz goes over to the Pyra. That's an invitation for a little bit more stage control as Jimbo holds onto the center stage with punishing so well with the PK Fire.
Good side B, and that was a good get-up attack as well. And he's got Lucas to a kill percentage here. But Jimbo's just really not made himself available for these heavy hits. But there's the switch and the dash attack. Great stuff there to get the first stock off the board.
As now, you can kind of see the cracks starting to show for Jackboz. I mean, they're able to get the initial stock, and they're actually starting to deal with the PK Fire a little more. They're not getting whiff punished as much. Get caught by the forward air, but when that hasn't really been an option for too much, and I love that get off ledge tool. You haven't been going above ledge the entire time. Mix it up. Even though it's not as optimal, do the mix up. Now, again, the ground movement, it's tough to really get a hang of when you know the PK Fire is there, and it is tough to deal with online. I'm not blaming you. The side B, that's going to be punished. It's the grab. You know Lucas got that tether.
Gotta play so carefully. Again, that forward smash not gonna connect, and that air dodge gets read by the neutral B. Make it 2 for 2. Can he get it 3 for 3? Oh boy! What a play by Jimbo. 3 for 3 on the neutral B.
Woo! And that's good. That's very good. But I do think it is also a testament to, well, how easily Mithra can be caught off state. I mean, it's very predictable, and the fact that side B doesn't even snap to ledge makes it even more so. And then Pyra, we did see Pyra get exploited a little less, because she does have that snap to ledge, but either way, it's just very tough, and honestly, just props to Jimbo. Really, calling out your opponent's weaknesses like that, seeing that they're not... I don't even want to say that they're not overshooting, because overshooting is actually a term for when you know your opponent is going to dash back, so you go for a dash attack or something to call it out. But that's not even quite what they were doing. They were like jumping all the way back. They were accounting for Jimbo was accounting for Jackboz's overshoot, and then jumping another hop and a step back so they could punish them with the side B.
Yeah, I feel like this game in particular really came down to, like, there were a lot of times I felt like Jackboz felt like he was kind of fishing. There were multiple times where it felt like he just kind of tunnel visioned on, all right, I want to hit my opponent. I just want to go in. You think about I don't think he connected a single side B, and I think there were at least 3 or 4 throughout that match where he's doing it onto a shield. And I don't even know if Jimbo had his shield up or not before the move even came out. And when you have that, when you tunnel vision like that, it is so easy to, read and react and punish accordingly. And Jimbo was just there with an answer, 99% of the time this match.
Yeah, Jimbo, I mean, again, it's also just a comfort thing. This is not Jimbo's first rodeo. It was Jack Boz's. So Jack Boz, definitely some material to work with and definitely some players to learn from. I expect to see them coming back strong after the holiday break, but for now, gotta hold that L. Gotta hold it for the time being. As we're going into the next one, is going to be G-Man and Kibbs. Now, Kibbs, they got the Falco, they got the Falcon, they got the Pals, whatever you want to call it, as they're going up against G-Man 1021. Now, G-Man, when we first saw them, they were a Bowser player in the same caliber as Bowser. I believe they've swapped off a bit now, and I'm not actually sure where G-Man rests. But either way, this is team captain territory, so you've got to come correct.
Yeah, last time we saw G-Man on stream, it was actually the Falco. So there's a potential for a Falco Ditto here, and I wonder if that's what they'll opt for. But again, I think Kibbs has kind of the advantage there because we've seen what Kibbs' Falco can do. It can be very scary at times. I mean, we talk about Falco as one of these almost, cutscene characters. The second you're in that up tilt, you're about to eat a ton of damage, and Kibbs has done such a good job of, finding those up tilts in the first place. So G-Man's going to have a tall task in front of him. G-Man is 1-4 on the year so far. So if he's going to keep Seton Hall alive in this set, he's got to find that second gear.
100%. And it's kind of like, I'm not even going to try and sit here and give advice because Kibbs just has le fundies. If there is one thing you can exploit in Kibbs' playstyle that I know, readily admitted by Kibbs, by the way, this is not me calling them out, is that sometimes Kibbs is more than willing to risk it for the biscuit. Sometimes they just want that clip. They just want that style point, and they will go all in every day to get it. And if you know that, if you know they're always going to be going for that flashy flash, you can call it out. I mean, there's a reason it's unoptimal. It's because, well, it's in the word. You heard me.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Kibbs is definitely one of those players that we've seen, try and get the clip or get the stocks early. And it's interesting in a format like this, right? Because, every stock matters. But if you go for something like a suicide dare or something along those lines, it could net you the game, but it also might cost your team some points. And in a scenario like this, for Iona, where you have a 7-point lead, it would take a perfect game for you to lose your lead. I feel like Kibbs is almost the perfect player to put into this slot when you have a lead and you're not afraid to have that little bit of wiggle room. And Kibbs is I feel like also kind of a momentum player, right? Where if he gets going, he's just hard to slow down. But if he drops the first stock, playing from behind can be a lot harder for him.
Yeah, okay. I'm not surprised right now to see Kibbs on the Falcon. I mean, people just don't like to play Dittos. Dittos can be, wait, it is Kibbs? Okay, hold on. Kibbs is in fact on the Falco, and the Falcon is being piloted by G-Man, who does get a nice forward tilt right there, but then I'm able to follow it up with the side before Kibbs gets the reversal. Now Kibbs looking to get a spike with that down air, but that is one tool Kibbs is very fond of, using the side B to start combos. You got to be ready for that burst option.
Yeah, and the down air connecting, but not the spike hitbox, the outside hitbox, and that's actually the Falco dying first off the side there.
Very, very nice. As right now, Falcon's a little bit iffy recovery is being exploited. You saw, got a nice 20% off of there. But now you got caught by the side B. You're on the platform, and even though that up there not quite safe on hit, you're still able to get the scoop because of the weird positioning. Now the down throw right there. Whips the short hop just a bit, but either way, G-Man is stacking up the percent. And they get they're the master of that weird stomp hitbox.
That up smash nearly connecting on the roll in. That could have been huge. I mean, that up smash, it is surprisingly strong, especially if you get both hitboxes. And that back air nearly taking the stock as well. Just great control around the stage here, but nearly turned around. Is that forward air going to do it? Yes, it will.
Yeah, G-Man holding on right here right now, but just the raw up smash saying, I know you're going to jump. And Kip says, no, I'm not. I'm going to throw out a laser. And it's like, well, okay. I mean, it doesn't really matter.
Oh my goodness.
Right there.
I could not believe that all converted, and it nearly ends in the knee, too. That was almost everything for, I believe, Kibbs.
I do not believe these names are accurate.
I think Kibbs is the Falcon.
Yeah, Kibbs is definitely the Falcon. The taunt sealed it for me. The taunt sealed it for me. I knew it as soon as I saw them asking them to show me their moves. Like, I had felt something in the back of my head for the entire time, and I'm like, wait a minute. That's Kibbs.
That is, I mean, what a turnaround. I just, the down smash was so, because, you know, it's so easy as Falco, right, to think, okay, I've got the side B, which is just going to be, it's going to be quick, it's going to be clean, I'm just going to snap the ledge, and then just the slight misspacing of it because you're in that, you know you're at that deficit, and the down smash comes through at the perfect time. Really well done to Kibbs.
Yeah, fantastic stuff indeed, and I felt like it's a match of the extremes for certain, but I don't really feel like we saw the extremes come out. They played Falco like a CPU does it, where they sort of just, they get the good stuff, they get the up tilt confirms into one or two aerials, they get some laser pressure, they get some edge guards, but it's just, again, stray hits. And with Falco, stray hits are bound to lead into another stray hit eventually, but it's not full-on combo. It's not full-on creativity, flowchart. We didn't see the extremes of what Falco could do. Falcon, well, we saw the extremes. We didn't see them come to fruition all the time, but we saw the extremes just barely coming over the horizon. And with just a little bit more awareness of percents and execution, yeah, I think it's definitely feasible.
And I feel like, on top of that, Captain Falcon, I feel like he's one of these characters that tends to beat up on the Spaceys, you know, on the Falcos and Foxes, just because of their fast volley nature. But I mean, you look at the way, you know, like you said, the stray hits that G-Man was able to find, and like you said, the stray hits are good, but you got to be able to take the stock eventually. And so I feel like the key is that those early percents, he's got to get a combo off first. It almost feels like whoever gets their first combo has the advantage for the rest of that stock, right? Because these are both characters who can rack up the percents and get kills. But I feel like it's a lot easier to find those strong stray hits as Captain Falcon than it is for Falco. I feel like you almost have to have those conversions down in order to find, you know, the back air, the strong up air, or something along those lines.
Yeah, and I did also like the hard call-outs too. Remember how I said Kibbs? They like to risk it for the biscuit. They like to throw it all on black and see how the wheel turns out. That's exactly what we saw there. Because even if you whiff the knee, they have to air dodge to get out of it, and knee doesn't have that much end lag, so you're just able to reset the situation. You can't continue the combo, but you can just go back to neutral, even if you whiff the combo. Falco doesn't have this massive combo starters or combo breakers that can really punish you for it, so it's just going to be an air dodge, and you're getting off scot-free. So we're going to go to Kalos. He's going to give Falco a little more room to play around with, and they can control the ground a little bit better with the lasers. But if they're not throwing out the lasers, if they let up on that pressure, then Kibbs is going to rush them in like a bull seeing red. Oh, but speaking of seeing red, that's exactly what G-Man did as soon as they saw like Captain Falcon off stage, and they clipped those wings, sent him straight down into the depths as G-Man takes the lead.
That down air is one of the most satisfying, I think, in the game to land, and Kibbs just not ready for it. Felt safe and was not at all. So G-Man with a good early lead, but he's got to be able to hold on to it, and this is dangerous. Kibbs has him off stage. Good side beat back and a quick turnaround here for G-Man.
Yeah, and I love that positioning right there. On the platform directly above the ledge. You go above the ledge, you're not hitting them. You go on stage, you're dead. You try and grab stage, well, they're in perfect position to drop down air. And now the super armor gets the combo started. Instant air dodge, but an up smash right out of that is just an invitation for more punishes. And again, Kibbs isn't quite putting together the conversions, but maybe that's not enough. As you got to remember that early stock G-Man took. Even still, Kibbs is still at a disadvantage right now, but they're quickly turning that around. The up B on stage again. The up smash is going to clean that up. And I love the Falcon kick as a burst option. You got to respect it. A lot better than up B on stage, I'll give you that one.
It's going to start killing soon, especially against a slightly lighter character like like Falco, I should say. G-Man's doing a good job of kind of catching a few of the overextensions from Kibbs now to get a bit more of that chip damage on deck, but he's still got to find a way to get that kill. That side B is not going to do it, and that up B actually will take the stock. So now Kibbs in the lead.
And Kibbs just looking for that trap, landing back in there, will get the down tilt. Oh, they're going for it all! And it was enough. They didn't even need to go for the second spike, because I don't know where that jump was, but Falco with the third highest jump in the game, if they had it, they would have gotten back to the stage. The fact that we didn't see it at all meant that, well, the captain got away with high seas plunder, highway robbery, taking away the jump, taking away the stock, and taking away any chance that Seton Hall realistically had to turn that around.
Yeah, that'll seal it away for the side of Iona. They're able to get the points online here, and that's just a solid showing from Kibbs, right? These are the performances that we love to see from Kibbs, because Kibbs has had his struggles this season. You know, he's often in the back half of this lineup going up against guys who are kind of the anchors of these other teams, and so if he doesn't get that momentum under his belt, it feels like he can fall a little bit early. He's 2-4 on the season, but with this, you know, it feels like that momentum is back in his favor. When he controls the pace of a matchup, and when he is, you know, finding those reads, those combos, when he gets at that little bit of the game plan under his, you know, in his mind, that's when he's at his best, and he was all over G-Man in this set.
Yeah, 100%, as it looks like Iona going to be closing it out with Loser right now. Interesting pick. I got high hopes for Loser. I don't remember. I feel like the last time we saw Loser, did they win again? I can't remember.
Loser, last time we saw him, actually, I believe he's the Pikachu player for Iona.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He's 2-2 on the season. I think last time we saw him, Iona had kind of a strange counter pick choice, because they were playing Hawaii, I want to say, and they opted to put Loser against Not Christian, who is the Game & Watch for Hawaii. So kind of an odd choice, to say the least. But Loser, you know, this Pikachu, it's shown potential. At 2-2, we know what this Pikachu is capable of, but it feels like, you know, those strings that Pikachu is known for, or the edge guards that this character can pull off, not quite Loser's strength, but Loser still finds a way to get the job done.
Yeah, and Loser, they're a scrappy Pikachu player. They're not as dominant as some, but, well, I feel like it's gonna be tough. Even though they're scrappy, I feel like one of Loser's weaknesses and strengths, kinda, is that they play to their opponent. If their opponent's way above them, Loser will find a way to make it close. If their opponent is way below them, Loser will find a way to make it close. And Loser's usually clutch in the last stock situations, but even so, a chance for Seton Hall to get some points on the board. And you can get a very respectable score line off of this.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, even if you can't secure the win, right, that point differential and that round differential does make a huge difference down the line here. And so for Seton Hall, who's one of these teams that towards the bottom of the pack right now in the EGF, anything they can get is beneficial to them later on in the season. And like you said, I think Loser is one of these players that, like you said, it almost feels like the even strength button. There are times when he feels like he's just on point and he can keep it close with some of the titans of the EGF. But then there are those moments where he's playing against someone where you feel like he should just be able to clean those stocks up, and drops a combo and loses stock for it, or just overextends one too many times and eats a forward smash or a roll read, something along those lines. So we're looking for, I think, headed into this game, a little bit of consistency from Loser, and that's a huge factor. And part of that, I almost feel like, comes with the territory of Pikachu, right? Because Pikachu can take stocks very quickly, but being the smaller rat that Pikachu is, can die very quickly as well.
I mean, it's gonna be tough. I feel like in general, Pikachu can struggle to get kills, but the fact that he has diversity, that he has options, means that you're never truly out of it. You've always got dash attack. You've always got up throw. You've always got edge guards. So as long as you stay calm, you understand that it's okay. You can still keep throwing out Thunder Jolts even at high percent until you get to a kill range. You can definitely make this work. It's going to be Trey going up against them. Okay, I hate to be bearer of bad news, but Trey could be playing literally anything right now. I've got Fox, I got Falco, I got Rosalina at one point.
Yep. Yeah, those are the three that we've seen this season. And the other bad news is that Trey so far this season is winless. 0-6 so far. So again, Seton Hall, they've got a lot of faith in him. He's clearly a talented player, but those kind of close games that we've seen him be in, it just feels like there's an aspect of the game missing, that kill confirm just isn't quite online yet, or that close scenario just does the number of times he gets into a last stock scenario and he eats one combo to be at 100% for it. It feels like, just if this were a coin flip, it feels like he's been wrong 6 times in a row, and it feels like he's almost due for one. And against Loser, it's not going to be any easier.
Yeah, 100%. I can't imagine it's going to be great. All right. It looks like, yeah, we are getting ready to go into it soon enough. It's going to be Town and City with Falco versus Pikachu. Alrighty. One of the old great classic matchups says, in general, watch that offstage game, my friend. Watch it well.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can see Loser right off the bat. He knows to throw out those Thunder Jolts. Those neutral Bs, they can do a lot of work for you. Trey can really only reflect maybe 1 or 2 at best, and Trey has to play very carefully around it. So just controlling the pace of the game is the name of the game for Loser right now.
Well, it's really Trey using the platform movement and Falco's incredibly high jump to control the pace of the game. Sad being in and going for the up tilt isn't going to net them much mileage, but again, Pikachu doesn't really have the vertical burst range to call out these full hops. They're kind of just respecting it as they try and get a read for where Loser is going to be landing, but all the while the respect is going on, Trey's stacking on the percent.
Good shine there, again, to stop that approach option. No follow-up grab from Loser, though. And back to neutral once again. Good dash attack, though. Trey off stage, and Loser, it feels like he's got a game plan to go for an edge guard, but that platform getting in his way.
Ooh, the down air, up air. The alley-oop going to be the finisher for Trey, as Loser does go down to stock right now. Trey doing a really good job calling out Loser's approach options. The Thunder Jolt, they don't really care about it. I would care about that, though. I would care about that for sure.
You know, I wonder if Trey thought he had his jump still. Because that side B almost felt intentional to go underneath the stage like that. So I wonder if he still thought he had his jump to try and get back to the other side of the stage.
It's possible, but either way, it's something you just gotta shrug and move on with. You already had the lead. As long as you don't give it up anymore, it's not that bad. And I love abusing the low percents. Understanding safe on hit. We were talking all about off stream, safe on hit. You go for a strong move at that low percent, you can just throw out a strong move of your own to counter it out. The down smash, hard punishing them, that's why Loser was off stage in the first place, because they didn't respect that. And now they're down to their final stock right now. But good follow-up right there off of the down throw, gets all hits of the nair, stacking on the percent, but the down smash gonna be punished.
I actually like that from Trey. Just get the grab, get the nair, get some quick, easy percent on, and then, you know, wait and react and find your next opening later. You've got the stock advantage against a light character like Pikachu. Just wait for your opening.
Oh, going way low. And that lingering hitbox, that is what I'm talking about. Pikachu can stay off stage forever, and Falco doesn't have the best recovery. You kind of want to get back to stage as soon as possible, and you can linger for some time. Falco's a floaty for some reason, but can still get called out. Speaking of called out off stage, that's what Trey's trying to do here, as the down smash keeps Loser out of there. Oh, they went for it all with that spike, but now you're in disadvantage. Loser whiffs the grab, though, at center stage. You're going to get a little bit of follow-up. Going for the nair loops? No, can't quite get the re-grab.
And the forward smash from Loser also kind of ill-advised, trying to catch a landing. Good dash attack, though. Can he get a follow-up? That's an air dodge off the platform, and now Trey stuck to the corner again. That's huge, but the openings, there's the grab on shield.
They went for it all right there, but the forward air just barely out of that percent range, and that back air on shield. You might pancake if you hit the ground, but hovering around, just crop dusting the top of the shield, there's nothing you can do when the up smash comes out and tears you in half. It's going to be it right there. Loser dropping the first game. Seton Hall looking to get some more points here coming into the close.
Yeah, good showing there from Trey. I mean, really, the two stocks he lost just kind of felt awkward and off stage in gameplay, right? I mean, you know, you talked about how Pikachu always has the capability of edge guarding you because they can stall for so long, and you know, just the slight mistech underneath the stage led to the loss of Trey's second stock. And you think about that first stock too, going underneath the stage and not able to, you know, reach the other side, or maybe a misinput, whatever it may be. Trey's on-stage game was on point, and it was a huge factor in that set because he was able to take the first stock and find a way to seal away stocks 2 and 3 the minute he found those openings and wasn't off-stage.
Yeah, and I feel like the big part of it was, again, using Falco's really high jump height. Putting yourself above your opponent isn't usually the best idea, but against Loser, it was really good. I, once again, have access to an amazing diorama to demonstrate what I'm talking about. As you can see right here, look at this little guy. And never mind. I want to go back. But either way, listen, I'll figure it out. New technology coming in, getting ready for the next season because we don't have replays yet. But listen, watch out for the above game. Wait for them to land and get the punish. That's what Loser is going to want to do. Because Trey has already shown they're not going to care about the ground game. They don't care about the T-Jolts being down there. They'll stick to the platforms. But if Loser is able to catch the landings from the high jumps, then you might have something. And again, the off-stage game as well. Trying to get the ledge trump right there, not going to happen.
I actually love this counter pick too from Loser, because you think about the ways that Trey was able to seal away stocks in that first game. Up smash twice, up air as well, I believe. All the kills mostly coming off the top. So you get that high ceiling with Kalos as well. And you can stall out for even longer on this stage, especially if you use your wall jump. So really like this stage pick from Loser.
Yeah, I really like it as well. I mean, It's one of Pikachu's best for a reason. As you can see, Trey struggling to even find an in right now. Because on a stage with platforms towards the center, you don't care about the ground game being dominated by T-Jolts. Here, though, well, what do you do when you can't approach from across the stage?
Struggling to find an answer. Good. Clean up there. Does find the up smash as well. Catching the landings. That's a huge chunk of damage going in Trey's favor.
A lot of grabs, too. Calling out Loser's tendency to shield. Good wall jump right there to avoid the spike. That lingering hitbox, you got to get creative to get around it, and that's exactly what Trey did with that splash of paint.
That nair. I think Trey was looking for another up smash at a shield there, and the nair saving Loser for the moment.
As right now they're fishing for some kind of back air. Goes for a drag down, not going to connect. Trey at the moment. Sent up with the thunder. Gonna connect, not quite. Ooh. The up throw, like I said, there's your kill window. You have Falco's life bar now. The question is, how does Trey get the kill now? You can see they're kind of just holding their own position, jumping in place. But if you're always jumping in the same place, well, put a little hitbox there. See what happens. Walk into it. Ah, fantastic.
And now every bit of damage that Loser gets is going to be massive. That up air, not the strong hitbox of it, but does find the back air. Well done to take that second stock. And for all that time you can stall off stage, these two characters can really beat up on each other for it.
Ooh, good snap to ledge there to avoid the forward smash, and now scooped up by the up tilt. Okay, Loser has Trey on top of them right now, and while Trey is on top of them, that's where Trey gets their biggest damage. I mean, look at this. Trey's taken it back even after being at disadvantage for so long, but now the space between them is widened. But Loser does not play the same game, proving themselves capable of change, runs right in, and gets the grab instead. Trading back and forth, grappling with each other at the center of Kalos.
Trey trying to play so carefully right now around these neutral Bs from Loser. Does find his way in, but the down air actually getting that stock. The forward smash not going to be able to connect there, and Loser going for the throw into Thunder. Not going to work. And another up smash at a shield from Trey gets the job done.
Very nice indeed, as now Trey uses that multi-hit to catch out Trey's tendency to act out of shield, but they're still down a stock. Loser at the 0%. You want it to be over as soon as you can, but you can call it by the up tilt. It's not going to be enough, though. Very good down tilt to put them in a bad spot, but even the Thunder Jolt isn't fast enough to reach them on the side of the stage.
That up throw won't quite do it
Ooh.
yet. That up air almost getting the kill, and Trey surviving, but only barely.
Loser's really turned up the tempo right now. The rate at which they're throwing out hitboxes, I mean, right there, Trey was dead. There was literally nothing Trey could have done. Off stage, no jump, no wall jump. I mean, you found a win condition right there. The fact that the T-Jolts ride the walls like that, Trey needs to be so careful with how they recover, and they actually do get some damage from the Nair loops, 22% into the 44 after a read. Not too bad, not too shabby. Loser 3 takes the lead after being that full stock down.
It was a good stall on the roll from Trey after he got knocked down to know that Loser was going to rush in, and he was able to roll behind him, but things still even here now. And once again, Trey trying to play so carefully and get in on Loser, but Loser now doing a good job of, you know, kind of reading Trey's pattern of getting in. Oh my goodness, Trey going deep for the down air.
All right. Loser fishing a little bit right now, but the constant barrage of hitboxes is not too shabby at all. Right now, Loser will kind of be fishing for an up smash, not going to connect.
If you're a Loser, I'm looking for that up smash at a shield. It's been Trey's go-to all day. You got to be very careful when you're next to this Falco.
Right here, right now. Trey looking to keep on the pressure. One thing I've noticed, Remember game 1 where they were just using the lasers to beat out the Thunder Jolts just a couple times? They are not playing around with that at all. They understand the percent is not what you want to put yourself at risk for right there. As that up throw next time, that's going to kill. One more read, and Loser has this in the bag, putting it to game 3, but Trey could take it right here and now with the correct read, and understanding how much Loser is bouncing in their seat, jumping up and down. Loser will be finished off with the up smash, and Seton Hall gets some more points on the board to finish off their night and their winter season.
And Trey able to get his first win of the split as well, which is a lot of good momentum for him because he's one of the players that the Pirates put a lot of pressure on to perform. He's one of the consistent names of this lineup. So for him to secure that first win in his EGF career, that's a good sign for the Pirates.
And I really did like how... I'm trying to think of exactly how it happened. How they managed to close the distance, how they managed to make them uncomfortable and push them to the edge. I mean, in general, I think it came down to once you got called out enough times, the Thunder Jolts were not the only option that you really wanted to have. And I feel like Loser didn't really find ways to deal with the hard drifts in.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, whenever it was the two characters kind of in shield next to each other, it always ended up going in Trey's favor. And we saw, Loser had some answers, things like the grab, things like the back air, but it was just, I almost feel like, again, you just sometimes want to hit your opponent, and when you're in a panic scenario like that, high percents on your last stock, you just want to, if you're Loser in that scenario, you just want to get them off of you. Forget the grab that could have killed. Just get them away, reset it. I'll find my grab later. And Trey, time and time again, was able to find that up smash out of shield. And just, I mean, even on that last hit, it was just the very top of that hitbox connecting. But it's just what he needed to seal away that game.
100%. And we can ask them a little bit more about this. It looks like we are trying to get an interview set up, as we are seeing. Yeah. Ooh. Okay. Iona says they have a video camera now. Can't wait to see that, as we're going to try and get that set up. Might just be audio, might not be. We'll figure it out right after this quick break, so don't go anywhere. Welcome back, everybody, to the EGFC. We are here with Kibbs from Iona after a very nice victory. How you doing, Kibbs?
I'm feeling good. That win, we definitely needed that. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, you kind of got snubbed last week because, you know, it's final season. Not everyone can make every game. So you got a good last win to give you momentum going into the fall season. But I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk personality and personal play. Because you saw there was a little bit of a mishap where we had the names mixed up, but by the end we had it figured out that it was you, in fact, on the Captain Falcon. So I gotta ask, like, there's a thing in Smash Brothers, in platform fighters, that you can tell who a player is by their play style. Do you think you're pretty distinguishable?
I feel like I am very distinguishable as a player. Like, as a whole, I feel like, I don't know, like, who else spams down air like I do at the end of the day? Only a madman will do that, and the madman is such as myself. So I feel like I'm definitely distinguished in the pack. Another distinguishable player is definitely Yalisso. Nobody moves like he does.
Oh yeah, not at all.
Player.
Not at all. And also one more tiny thing: who else spams down air and gets that weird hitbox that sends you off to the side?
Oh, who else gets Dude, yeah, I get the nipple box all the time. I'm getting it because at the end of the day, you're still getting dared by Falcon, whether it's a spike or you're getting launched off the side. It doesn't matter. You're still dead. You know.
100%.
I was gonna ask, we've seen you, rock the Falcon numerous times now. We've seen your Falco play well as well. How do you, decide which character on the day you're gonna go to?
I flip a coin. I'm gonna be honest. Yeah, I just kind of guess, see which one I'm feeling. It depends. I was like, I'm versing a Falco, and Falco ditters are super lame, so I just went with the Falcon, because I knew I could probably beat a Falco easily.
Yeah, I mean, you got the all-stage play, you got that nice platform movement.
Yeah,
worked out well for you.
I was waiting for that. I saw him trying to recover off stage, and I was just sitting on the platform, and I just go, all right, this kid's dead. Just need one dare, and he's done. So. And
is that the sort of matchup knowledge you have because you play Falco? Like, did you know exactly how to exploit that weakness?
Yeah, absolutely. So I have a friend back home who's like super into Smash. His name's Capri Sun. He's like he's a Boston player, and I played Falco Falcon like over the summer, maybe like 5 hours a day for like a week straight, just trying to learn that matchup as the Falco. So I know how much of a horrible matchup it is. So I was like, this will be fun,
Well, you definitely showed those fun times there.
Yeah.
And so now you guys wrap up this split at an even 4-4, and going into next split, you guys kind of have the MAC gauntlet coming up. A lot of the teams that are in your remaining schedule are the hierarchy of the MAC. Marist, Sienna, Quinnipiac, all on the docket. How are you guys feeling about your chances in this conference?
We're definitely a little nervous coming in because I know like in like the MAC standards, I think we're like low mid, almost. What are we, 6th out of 10, I believe?
I think so, 7? Yes.
And so we're nervous, but we're definitely ready. We have been preparing just like nonstop, trying to like learn like the matchups, how each person plays. One of our moderators for the team, right before a game, will just write notes on notes on notes. So we study those before we, start playing. So I think definitely don't count us out. We're a little nervous, but we'll definitely pull it out.
Hey, that's the confidence you've got to have going
100%.
Into the spring split. And as we wrap up your fall split and everything, there is one last thing I want to make official because it's happened entirely through DMs so far. Are there any challenges that need to be issued right now looking into the spring?
Any challenges that need to be issued? First, Rat King versus Soy. But the second one, me versus Dill. Me versus Dill, gotta get the money match going. LAN, online, money match me, and anyhow, anytime. I'm so down.
You heard it here first, folks. Hey, I'm just glad no one's trying to money match me.
Kill Miles, you're next in line, buddy. First Dill, then you, and then if Rat King fails, I'm coming after Soy next. I'm gonna knock them all down. Gotta get him going.
The law's been laid down. The challenge is issued. So if the MAC happens or online, whatever happens, it will happen at some point. The EGFC show match, talent versus players. Player's
Yes,
probably
sir.
going to win, except for Dale. You're not beating Dale. But
I'm not going to beat Dale. We'll see. We'll have to see.
Okay. Well, either way, Kibbs, thank you so much for your time, and have a nice holiday.
Thank you as well.
And with that, we're going to be wrapping up. We've got another match coming up. It's going to be St. John's versus Fairfield University in just a little bit. So go take a break, go to the bathroom, get some water, but be back for more EGFC action in just a little bit.